This here goes out to the MRA, a message to the MRA. That's right, men's right activists out there. Okay, for a long time I've been speaking out. And, well, when it comes to censorship up on YouTube, anybody with any common sense that opens their eyes realizes the censorship that goes on over here. When somebody that really puts out the truth and speaks the truth will get suppressed down. That's right, booted from YouTube, flagged down, suspended. That's right, censored, like on my channel, for example, the numbers, all lies. Okay, but I'm used to that, I'm quite used to it. So, but anyhow, with all that to the side, this message is really to the MRA, okay, men's rights activists. I sit back and I watch more and more and more. And right here, you're looking at douchebag myth 101. They are math 101. And I've leave the link, of course, again for this video. This gal who made this video, I give her the highest recommendations. I mean, I have a lot of respect for her, and I have to say thank you to her. And I say thank you to her because she wasn't willing to hide behind the taboo subject. If you watch this video, she said it just the way it is. She shows you the numbers. She shows you just how society has become, how the majority of women are all chasing a certain slow percentage of the men, 20% of the men. Okay, so you have 80% of the women chasing 20% of the men, don't want anything to do with, okay, the other 80% of the men. And so that leaves 80% of the men to be alone. But you have to watch this. And if you haven't seen this, the link will be underneath the video in the morning. This gal spoke it just the way it is. She cut no strings. She didn't lie. She didn't bullshit. She told 100% straight truth, okay? And the reason I'm bringing this topic up is because, talking to a friend, and he was over on MRA forum. He's been there before, and he watched MRAs. A lot of the MRAs, men's rights activists, are over there whining and complaining about not getting their dick in a hole. Okay, that's right, not getting their dick in the hole. There's a whole bunch of the MRAs that are nothing more than vaginas. I hate to say that, but it's true. They're not even men. They're just vaginas, okay? And I guess my problem with the MRA is, you got people like right here, the happy misogynist, Paul Elam, okay, who has spoke one hell of a lot of truth. Now, I'm not taking that away from him, because Paul Elam is speaking truth, okay? Not lies, not bullshit, and he's not hiding behind anything, okay? And then, of course, you have Shapers Infernal over there. He speaks a lot of truth. I give him hands up, okay? That's right, men's rights and myths. You have a bunch of them here, and then you have her. That's right. Girls' rights what? It hasn't been around very long. I listened to her make a statement to somebody she'd replied to about how he'd been up on YouTube all this time and he ain't got shit for subscribers and she's only been here this long and has this many. And the answer to that is so easy and so obvious. He is a he. And as being a he, a him, a guy on YouTube, he could do the exact same thing, talk the exact same way this gal does, have the exact same viewpoints that she does right to the T, and he would still have a very low amount even if he'd been here for 4 or 5 years. Because he don't have a hole between his legs. The reason this gal has the subscribers in the short amount of time she has is because she has that hole between her legs. Nobody's stupid to that, okay? And anybody that don't think that's the fucking real reason she has all these subscribers, it's because once again you're hiding the truth. My problem with the MRA is they speak a whole lot of truth, but they actually don't want equal rights straight across the board. Not even her. You know, talking to my friend and talking about this yesterday and talked about this the other day too. And he may very well be right uh, about girls' rights for what here. That the real reason she's speaking out is because she has kids that are boys. That's right, that are boys, not girls. And that if her kids was only girls, let's say she has 2 boys. Okay, well, but if she had just 2 girls and that's all she had, she probably wouldn't be up here speaking out. She would care less. But because it's boys that are her children, she's speaking out because she's worried about their future, because she knows, as being a female herself, how women dump on men. How men are the actual ones being suppressed down in society, and even by other men. That's why they're vaginas, and that's why they'll never be a man. Because vaginas ain't men. Now, I don't call them manginas because there ain't no such thing as a mangina. Why? Because there's nothing manly about them. Having a penis between your legs is not the definition of a man. It does not make you a man. Standing up for yourself for equal rights is what makes you a man. Is what makes you a woman. But the problem I'm having with MRA here is, they run from me like a plague, okay? That's obvious. She runs really hard, okay? Anything to avoid the truth, okay? Because you're out here speaking the truth. Well, that's because what you're doing is you're speaking selective truth, okay? That's right. You selected what you want to talk about. What you don't want to speak about is what this gal talked about. Now, the reason you don't want to speak about what this gal talked about is because you know it's truth. And you don't want that. You don't want what she showed you to be acknowledged. Okay? And the reason you don't want that to be acknowledged is because, let's just put it this way. The simplest way I can say this is this way. MRA, if they get their wants and they win their war, they win their fight, and society changes and men gets more rights, that's great. But then it's not great. And I'll tell you why it's not great. Because it was a waste of their time, my time, your time, everybody's time. Why? Because within 20 or 30 years from the time that they've changed it, it'll go right back to what it is right now. You're going to say, now how can I say that? Simple. It's easy. It's in your face. See, they're not speaking about equal rights straight across the board. MRA is not about equal rights straight across the board. When they're all said and done, they give the man some rights back, but they still keep one gender above the other, giving that one gender more say-so than the other. That's right, keeping that one gender above the other, keeping that division. And as long as you're willing, and you're going to say, well, it's because it's natural, it's biology, and it's chemistry, and a woman's brain is hardwired different than a man's. You're going to come up with all of your lame excuses that's been programmed into your brain to believe this crap. Okay? No lie. It's been programmed into your brain by other human beings to believe in this hogwash, okay? And you're going to leave things fucked up even when you were fighting for what's right. And because you wasn't about straightening the problem out to begin with, only plain selective, that's right, it's sort of like selective truth. Why do you think they run from Douchebag Math 101? Why do you think people like Girls' Rights for What won't touch this subject? Why do you think MRA won't acknowledge TFL or won't touch the subjects that we talk about? They're not going to touch it because the majority of the MRA people are vaginas. They're not even men. They wish they was a man, but they're not. They're not men. Okay? They might as well just call themselves women for what they really are, because they're not men. Okay? That's sad to say, but it's true. I give a lot of respect to people like Paul Elam, okay, because he's telling so hardcore truth. He really is. I'm not taking away from the message they're sending because they are telling the truth. They are showing you the absolute fucking 100% truth. But they're not willing to be straight across the board. That no man is above no woman and no woman is above no man. That nobody belongs with power over another gender, and there's no such thing as one gender should be babied, pampered, and have more say-so than another gender. As long as you're going to leave one gender having more say-so than another gender, one gender to be pampered and nourished, while the other gender's still lower than the other, because you don't want to be equal straight across the board, then you're wasting your time. You've wasted your time, you've wasted my time, you've wasted everybody's time you ever fucking talked to about this subject. Because you're still leaving one gender above another gender, and you're using the programming, the social conditioning, the lame excuses, because you're not willing to go investigate that now, are you? You're not willing to go look into your government. That's right. The CIA, the government. You're not willing to go look there and really look hard and start studying the actual truth. When you wake up to what the reality is, then you'll discover that this bullshit about a woman's brain is hardwired different than a man's is exactly what it is. Complete hogwash, bullshit, lies. It's to keep us divided. See, that's the one thing I got to give the bankers, the global elite, and the government fucking kudos on. They've done a fantastic job. They have manipulated people into actually believing there's that much difference between a female and a male. And they got you so hardcore stuck on it and believing in it that the fight over here at the MRA is a complete waste of everybody's time. A complete fucking waste. Because it's doing you no good. Because when it all comes down to it, even though you're speaking the truth, if you get you once, when it's all said and done and you think we won and we finally got some equal rights for men, that's the key word. Some equal rights for men. Selective equal rights for men. While you still leave one gender with more rights over the other. So then in 20 or 30 years from the time you won, you wasted your time, because it'll be back to what it was. Because power and greed absolutely has no end. There is no end to power and greed. And as long as you leave one gender over the other, you will never have equal rights straight across the board. You will never have equalness in any way, any shape, any fashion, any form at all. It's actually pretty fucking disgusting.